Well, I think part of Canadians' anxiety right now is not just for the short term of dealing with COVID-19. They need to know that once we're through it, and we will get through it, we're going to build back better. We're going to build a better future for Canadians. Canadians know, and we've known for a long time, that even as we deal with this crisis of COVID-19, we have to deal with the crisis of climate change. That's why we moved forward on a long-standing commitment to ban single-use harmful plastics. And Canadians know that they're ending up in our parks and our landfills in places and not being recycled. That's why we're keeping this commitment about moving forward and keeping plastic in our economy, but getting it out of the environment. These are things that matter to Canadians even during a pandemic. Similarly, as we talk about building back better, announcements like this today indicate that not only are we going to make it through this pandemic because we're working all together, but we're going to ensure that there are good jobs for the long term as we come out of this pandemic. I think this has been a moment where people are sort of stepping back and saying, okay, we've got to get through now, but once we get through it, what changes are there going to be in the world, and how do we make sure that Canadians can benefit from that?
I think our priority has to be COVID related. There's no question about it. There's an immediate threat that we're going through, and people are feeling the pain of it. There's still so much worry and anxiety, testing, long-term care homes. There's so many worries that we have, and those should be our priorities for sure. And then when we start looking beyond these immediate crises that we're in right now and start looking towards the future, we do need to have a recovery. And the way we invest in that recovery can either help set up people to succeed and people to do well, or can continue down a path where the wealthiest make massive profits. And that's where I think it's important for us to put in place a way to pay for these really important programs and supports for people. And the way to do that is to tax the ultra wealthy. Make sure that those at the very top are paying their fair share. That is an absolute criteria of a good recovery. Like, that is so important for us to do. On top of that, we can make the right investments in a sustainable economy so that we recover in a way that creates jobs in all communities across Canada, but also helps us fight the climate crisis. I think that is also an important part of the recovery. But I believe we need to focus very much on the immediate emergency that we're up against, and then talk about a recovery that keeps people centered and focused at the heart of that recovery, and ensures that investments are designed in a way to create jobs that will give people good opportunities and help us to fight also the climate crisis, which is a real crisis that we're also faced with in this time.